Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Madam Nazira Zubair. In previous parts, we have learned some of the terms, for example, like natality, the birth rate, mortality, the death rate, emigration, the population that moves out, immigration, population that moves in. And in this video today, we're going to learn how to calculate the growth rate and population size. Okay, this is the formula for the growth rate or rate of change of a population per capita, or R. R equals to B minus D plus I minus E. B refers to the birth rate, D is the death rate, I immigration rate, and E is the emigration rate. To summarize, in a population, when there's a birth or there's immigration, then the size of the population will increase. But when there's death or emigration, the size will decrease. Immigration refers to the movement of individuals into the population, and the emigration refers to the movement of individuals out of the population. Alright, next we're going to take a look at how we're going to calculate the population size in the first example that we have here. So example 1, in 2008, the human population in Langkawi Island was recorded as 65,000. In 2009, there were 1,000 births and 300 deaths. In the same year, 300 left the island to various parts of the world and 500 immigrants were recorded. Determine the population size in 2010 if the growth rate was constant. In this example, the number of birth is 1,000. Okay, so this is the number of birth. So if you want to calculate the birth rate is 1,000 over the total of population, which is 65,000. So 1,000 over 65,000, that is the birth rate. For the death, in here the death is 300, so means that the death rate is 300 over the total number of population, which is 65,000, so 300 over 65,000. And 300 left the island, so 300 left the island means that the movement of individuals out of the population, so that is the emigration. So the emigration rate is 300 over 65,000. And the last one is the immigration rate. Immigrants that were recorded is 500, so immigration rate is 500 divided by 65,000. Before we calculate the population size, let us look at the rate of growth first, or R. So the rate of growth, or R, equals to B minus D plus I minus E. So we replace all the values in this formula. So 1,000 is the birth, death is 300, as we have discussed earlier on, 1,000 minus 300 over 65,000, plus 500, which is immigrants, minus 300 immigrants over total number of population, which is 65,000. So R equals to 0.014. Alright, now we're going to calculate the population growth in 2009. We have calculated R just now, the growth rate, which is 0.014. So dNdt, or growth, population growth in 2009 equals to Rn. R 0.014, N is the population size, which is 65,000, so that equals to 910. So new population size in 2009 equals to the original population size, which is 65,000, plus the increment or the increase, which is 910. So the total of population size in 2009 is 65,910. Now we're going to calculate the population size in 2010. So R still constant, which is 0.014. So we're still going to use the formula d n dt equals to R end. So R, which is 0.014, times N, which is the population size. In this case, we're going to take population size in 2009, which is 65,910. So 0.014 times 65,910, that equals to 923. That is the population growth in 2010. So for the population size in 2010, that equals to the original size, the population size for 2009, which is 65,910, plus the increment of the population, which is 923. So the total of population size in 2010 is 66,833. Now we're going to take a look at the second example on how to calculate the growth rate as well as the population size. Example 2, the birth rate for Egypt in 1992 was 32 per 1,000 people. So it means that this is the birth rate, 32 over 1,000, while the death rate was 8 per 1,000 people. So equals to 8 over 1,000. The total population was 80 million individuals. This is N, or population size, in 1992. So the first question, determine the growth rate, or R, for Egypt in 1992. And the second question, if there's no migration and the growth rate is constant, determine the population size of Egypt in 1993. And now we're going to calculate the growth rate, population growth, and population size in Egypt. For the first question, growth rate, or R, this one equals to B minus D, birth rate minus death rate, since that there's no migration occurs. So the birth rate is 0.032, death rate is 0.008. So growth rate equals to 0.024. For the second one, population growth, this one equals to R times N. N is the population size. So R equals to 0.024 times 80 million, which is the population size. That equals to 1.92 times 10 to the power of 6. So for the new population, equals to 1.92 times 10 to the power of 6 plus 80 million. So you're going to get 8.2 times 10 to the power of 7. Alhamdulillah, in this video we're able to discuss on how to calculate growth rate, or R, population growth, d and dt, as well as population size. Hopefully everyone is clear and understands on how to do the calculations. Until we meet again in the next video, I am Madam Nazira Zubair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.